Do you want to learn English but you don't know how? Don't worry. Today, we are going to talk about 7 practical things you can do if you want to learn English step by step. So if you are a beginner student, stick around and watch this video until the end, because I promise it will be very helpful for you. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried to learn English before? Please let me know your answer in the comments. And if you did, what was the first step that you took? In my experience, most students begin by learning greetings and introductions like hello, my name is, or nice to meet you. And that's okay. These are really useful phrases. However, there are more effective techniques that you can use to start learning English from scratch. I'm your instructor. I'm a non-native speaker who learned English on my own. And I created this channel to help people like you learn English faster and more effectively. So before we get started, please subscribe so you never miss an update. Also, please tap the like button because it helps me a lot. Thanks. Now let's begin. Starting with no. 1. When you learn a new word, try to use it in a sentence. When you learn a new word, don't forget to think of a sentence where you can use it. It's an extremely helpful technique that all advanced English learners use, but not many beginners know about it. Let me show you an example. Imagine you learn the word creative. So now you need to think of a sentence where you can use it. For instance, she is a creative person. She always has great ideas. By thinking of a sentence, you memorize the word much better and you understand how to use it correctly. But keep in mind, you don't have to write the sentence down. Just think of it. This way you can remember the meaning of hundreds of words easily. No. 2. Look for synonyms. This tip is even better than the first one. Here's what you need to do. First, learn a new word and write it down. Then find a synonym and write it down. 2. Finally, explain to yourself the difference between them. Let me show you mine. As you can see, both words mean very happy. But delighted is more formal than happy. If you want to learn even more words, you can continue this exercise. For example, another synonym of happy is joyful. You can write it down and explain its meaning. Joyful is often used during celebrations. We say, I am joyful to see you, instead of I am happy to see you. This technique is very effective because it trains your brain to recognize small differences between similar words. And if you want to learn more vocabulary step by step, I recommend that you read a book called English for Everyone, which you can get for free on the internet. Number 3. Group words by categories. Our brains love connections and categorization. So here's what you need to do. Think of a topic and write down everything you know about it. For example, let's take the topic kitchen. Now, try to think of as many words as possible and write them down. You can write cup, table, chair, sink, stove, refrigerator, etc. If you are stuck, just Google the topic and find some articles. After you finish writing, try to group these words by category. For example, you can make 3 groups: dishes, furniture, and appliances. This exercise is extremely helpful because while you're doing it, you learn new words. You memorize existing ones. and you train your brain to remember what words go together. And if you want to learn more words in different categories, you can get a good vocabulary book like this one, which you can get for free online. No, for write down important words. This tip is quite simple, but not many students know about it. Look at this image. What do you see? Of course, a blue sky, white clouds, green grass, a brown tree, and yellow leaves. That's right. But if I asked you what color the leaves are, you would probably say green. Why? Because in this image, the green color dominates and the yellow is almost invisible. In this case, green is a more important color than yellow. And the same thing happens with words. When you're reading a text or listening to a podcast, some words are more important than others. So, when you come across an important word, write it down. Don't worry about writing every single word. Just focus on the most important ones. And trust me, you'll remember them for a long time. No. 5. Learn phrases. Most students learn English words one by one. They learn book, black, beautiful, believe, and so on. However, there's a problem with this method. When you're speaking, you can't use individual words. You have to connect them and form phrases. Unfortunately, native speakers don't usually think in single words. We form phrases and we connect them to other phrases to form sentences. Therefore, if you want to speak naturally, you need to start learning phrases. For example, you can learn what's your name. It's nice to meet you. My name is. How are you? I'm fine. Thank you. And so on. Fortunately, there are many resources where you can learn common English phrases. For example, you can go to this website and download a PDF with 400 common English phrases for intermediate learners. The link is in the description. Number 6. Watch TV series with English subtitles. There is no doubt that watching movies and TV series is one of the best ways to learn English. There are many benefits. First, you improve your listening skills. Second, you learn new words and expressions. Third, you enjoy yourself while learning. However, there's a problem with this method. If you're still at the very beginning, it might be hard for you to understand the dialogue. What should you do in this case? Watch with English subtitles. In this way, you can follow the story without difficulty. And when you come across an unknown word, you can pause and search its meaning on Google. Keep in mind that this method is only temporary. As you progress, you should switch to Spanish subtitles and eventually remove the subtitles completely. Number 7. Listen to podcasts about your hobbies. One of the best ways to learn English is by listening to podcasts. There are many great podcasts for English learners. However, if you are just starting out, you may struggle to understand the dialogue. What should you do in this case? Find a podcast about your hobby. Let me explain. If you like football, find a football podcast. If you like cooking, look for a cooking podcast. If you are interested in technology, find a tech podcast. Trust me, it will be much easier for you to learn English if you're interested in the topic. And if you want to learn more about English podcasts, check out my video, The Best Podcasts for English Learners. And as a bonus, I'd like to share one last tip with you. Read different texts. Have you ever noticed that the same word has different meanings? For example, bank is a noun. It's the place where you put your money. Bank can also be a verb. It means to go up and down. For example, the bank of the river or the price of oil banks every day. And the word run has multiple meanings, too. Run is a verb. It means to move fast on foot. Run can also be a noun. For example, he went for a run, or it can be part of an idiom. For example, let's run over the details later. These are just some examples, but there are many words like this in English. So how can you learn all of them? Very easy. Read different texts. For example, if you read business articles, you will learn that the word bank can be used in finance. If you read sports news, you will learn that the word bank can be used in banking. If you read science articles, you will learn that the word run can be used in science. By reading different types of texts, you will come across the same words in different contexts. And that's exactly what you need to learn English. And finally, make a personal plan. Now that you know some techniques to start learning English, it's time to make a plan. Start with the number of words you want to learn each week. For example, 25 new words per week. Write them down and search their meanings and examples on Google. Keep in mind that this is just a sample plan. You can change it based on your needs. There are many ways to learn English, and not all of them involve memorizing new words. You can start with pronunciation practice or with improving your listening skills. To learn more about different methods, check out my video, The Best Ways to Learn English. That's it. If you liked this video, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching and see you next time.